I'm going to introduce you to Alma, the AI relationship coaching chatbot that I have created that is trained in magnetic femininity methodologies. So here I'm asking Alma a question that I might get from a client. I'm feeling a little confused with a guy I'm seeing. He says he really likes me but doesn't seem to want to commit. That's what the question is going to be. And I'm going to compare asking Alma this question compared with asking the relationship coaching GPT inside of Chat GPT, the same question. So this is inside Alma. And so the very first thing that you see with Alma, once the response is finished here, is you go back up to the beginning of this response. And the first thing Alma does is ask some questions. Have you had a conversation about what you're both looking for? Does he show his feelings for you? Are you happy with how things are going right now? The first thing that Alma does is ask some clarifying questions to get some more details, because that is really the only way to get accurate advice and guidance that's truly relevant to your situation. So I responded the way a client might respond. We've been dating for 2 months. We haven't really talked about what we are or what we want. And I forget what I responded here. And I don't want to make him feel pressured. That was what I responded. And so adding in some of those details in response to Alma's questions. Oh, and then I also said, but I really don't want to waste my time. So I think this is something that a lot of people can relate to. We don't want to, add pressure, but we also we want to make sure we're respecting our own time and our own energy and not spending months or, God forbid, years on someone who's never going to commit to the level that we want. So here is the response that Alma is going to come back with. So now you can see Alma has come back with another response that is offering a few steps that you can take based on the information that the gaps that you were able to fill in based on the questions that Alma asked you. And of course, she ends it with, how does this approach feel to you? Would you like some help crafting the conversation? Things like that. How do you bring it up? How do you navigate a situation like that where you've been seeing someone for 2 months, they don't seem to want to commit? And what you can do with Alma in this case is you can actually role play. You can actually practice so that you can gain some conversational skills. And that can help work out the nerves for any conversations that you might feel nervous about having, especially if you're not accustomed to setting boundaries or asking for your needs or verbalizing what you're looking for in a relationship. So here is the answer from ChatGPT from that same question. And you can see this is a very he ain't shit kind of answer. He's probably not looking for commitment, call it out directly, watch his actions, not his words, decide what you want. It's a lot of kind of assuming that the man has ill intent. It's kind of assuming that he's a scrub, that he's a time waster, that there's no room for the possibility that he's just not done vetting yet, because ChatGPT did not actually ask any real questions to get a feel for what the situation actually is. It just started spouting a lot of advice that may or may not actually be relevant to the situation. And so it says not bringing up it is exactly how you waste your time. It says stop worrying about pressure, be clear about what you want, give yourself a deadline. And it's very ultimatum-y. And there are much, much, much better ways to handle this that allow for the nuances of different situations. Because while, yes, it's possible that the guy's just a time waster and it's never gonna amount to anything, the ChatGPT response does not actually leave any room for nuance. So the ChatGPT response encourages women to treat him as if he's just a time waster, even though there may be a lot more to it than that. He may just still be vetting. He may still have questions. He may just need a longer timeline. or he may have never been looking for a serious relationship in the first place, but if, you started off the relationship together and you never brought it up, it doesn't mean he was intentionally wasting your time. It could just mean he didn't realize that you were dating for the purpose of finding your person. There's a lot of nuances that need to be taken into account in things like this, and jumping straight to the conclusion that he's clearly wasting your time and, all these negative assumptions. If you use those tactics on a good, healthy man who, let's say you are dating a healthy man who simply has a longer timeline, maybe within 2 months is too quick for him to commit. Some men need more time in order to really make that decision. And it's not right or wrong. It's just different. But if you use those tactics, like where are we? And making it mean that, if he's not ready to commit right then that means he was never planning to, you're going to push away good men. So the reality is a good relationship coach will ask some questions before jumping to that conclusion, because 2 months in reality of relationship timelines, yes, it's possible to commit by that point to exclusivity, absolutely. But a man not committing by 2 months is not a red flag. It does not mean he's not intending to commit. So treating him approaching him in a combative way is not going to lead to a positive result. Even if he's a healthy man who's looking for someone to commit to, approaching this in a combative way is not a good way to get what you want. In fact, for a healthy man, that's going to cause him to question if you're the right person for him, because he's not looking for somebody who's going to be combative and be issuing ultimatums. He's looking for somebody to get to know. So there are far better ways to handle this than the response that GPT gave. And so with Alma, you're going to get much more thoughtful responses. You're going to get questions asking clarifying questions about your situation. You're going to get a conversation where she's not judging you, she's not judging the man that you're dating, and it's just very open and curious, and let's work together. We've got this common goal. We want to create your love story. And so Alma is designed to be very supportive and empathetic, and yes, direct when necessary. But as you can see, the contrast of the differences, that is the difference that I have created with Alma. She is completely unique, and she is designed to help move you closer to your ultimate goal of finding the relationship you desire. So click the link in my bio if you want to learn more about Alma. I hope to see you in there.